Welcome back to Veronica Live, and I'm here with my wingman, John Salak, and we've had a big show, which everybody will hear, because I kind of launched them all now independently, every interview, and it's been an incredible show. And Friday, we're actually talking with a J6er wife, so I'm so looking forward to that show. But it's been a big week here in Bay County, because they last night censured, I can never say that word, the state committee woman, the former one that quit, that wants to run again, Mitzi Prater. And I was actually at the Republican Women's Luncheon last week when 5 people stood up, and it was captured on tape. It's on the Beacon of the Bay Facebook page. They asked her why she quit, and it was so embarrassing. It was like Kim Kardashian gone rogue. She wouldn't give the mic back. I mean, it was literally insane. And I'm like, this is why I gave up local politics, because it never was fun with these people, John. The maturity level is not there. And so I like congressional, senatorial, and presidential races because people are refined.
Well, Veronica, I've got this theory about people, and one of them is in when you get into politics and stuff, you get a lot of the hanger-ons, what I call the wannabe never-be's. Okay, they want to be somebody, but they will never be anybody because they have no substance.
Well, they have no substance. And here's the other part that happens a lot of times, because I've been doing politics for 10 and a half years now, is you and I have always had positions of power, and we've had title, and we've won awards. We've done it all. And people still come to me, Veronica, all the time.
We've done stuff. We've done stuff. We've accomplished things.
Yes.
We have substance behind all of that. And that's
experience.
Mitzi, right. I've known Mitzi Prater for, since I started in local politics, 2004. That's 20 years. And you know what she's done in 20 years? Nothing.
Because she wants the title.
Zero accomplished. Right. She wants the
title, and she wants the cocktail party. And anytime I've been in charge, you throw me the football. I'm trying to put on the best debate or cocktail party you've ever seen, and it's exhausting. So that's why I gave up local stuff a few years ago after I ran that race, because it was so, when I was trying to win that seat, and I lost because she and the gang put in a third person, but it all worked out better because now speaking, doing the radio show, podcast on X, like I'm everywhere, and the power is what we are able to broadcast to the world is bigger than that little position ever was. But had I won it, you had it, and people that I know that are like me that have held these positions, they're mature and they will work hard and deliver. And so it's just so frustrating, the whole thing. So
it's more than going to a party, and you have to understand how things work. Follow the money. That's why when I was the committee man and chairman also, I was on the budget committee, for the party, the state party. I was on the audit committee for the state party. Yeah. That's where the juice is at. That's where things happen. The rules committee, George Norris is on the rules committee because that's where things happen. You gotta be there in order to make the change happen.
Well, I forgot. I should have asked Tho, because now. I should have asked Chairman Tho Bishop. Now that she's censured, I can't even say that word, kicked off, we'll just say kicked off. Does that mean she loses her delegate status? Because she's going to Milwaukee to represent the Republicans in this region. And I still don't know. I forgot to ask that question. How the hell did that happen? Because unfortunately, no. Because that's the state party did that selection. That was a CD2 selection, not the Bay County one. But the fact that she's been censured, which is unusual. I mean, it's probably the first censure that I can remember of anybody. And I know, again, back when I was a state party member, we lodged a complaint, an ethics complaint against Mitzi for supporting Greg Brunicki over Mike Rohan for the Panama City mayor. Well, she was openly supporting a Democrat, and that's you and
can't
the leadership
do that as a Republican
at the
leader.
RPOF didn't want to handle that.
Right.
And had you done that, I would
Right.
have won that race. I mean, I did get 8,000 votes. So 8,000 people in Lynn Haven, in the Bay County like me. And it's still funny because still to this day, people know me because, you know, I have my red hair. It's my little, what makes me iconic.
But,
and they come up and tell me, oh, we wish we voted for you. We were so sad you didn't win. You know, but it all works out. God's got his plan, and this platform has been way bigger. But I am impressed. They handled her. So let's see what happens now.
well, I hope the voters get the message, and I hope the voters understand that she is a Bushy. She is anti-Trump. She doesn't like Trump. She doesn't like Trump.
When you get on
people.
the bandwagon, because there's candidates I do not like that are in our party, but once they win the primary, I'm voting for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want a Dem in the seat, John.
Yeah, but see, you have to look at Bay County politics historically. Okay, so here you had Alan Bentz, right, who was our state representative until
Which
he got
I
turned
saw
out,
him
but
Thursday. Which
Right.
I went to the CFO, had a fundraiser, and I did ask Alan Bentz if he would come back on. He said yes because he had such a good time the last time he came on my show.
Right.
So I'm going to work that for us.
But the thing you have to remember, though, is Alan Bentz, when he was Speaker of the House, Jeb Bush was the governor, and he is a Bushy. You know, he was 100% behind Jeb running for president in 2016 against Trump. And that's where Mitzi aligns with, you know. That's her local alignment.
But eventually, you've got to get over that and support Trump because we can't have.
He never got over it. Never got over it.
I mean, I get over it, you know, and we've got to win, and or we're toast. So it's just insane. So
well, it goes back to, you know, if you have, you know, as we were discussing, you know, a little earlier about the warfare situation that's going on, you got to have some standards. You know, you have to have some moral principles to stand on, and if you don't have anything, you have no anchor.
Well, and that's the funny thing is Louisiana is voted to hang up their Ten Commandments in all the schools and buildings, and people are just like, "Oh my gosh, you know, how dare you?" I'm fine with it. I'm like, because we need people not to steal, we need people not to lie, you know.
Exactly.
I'm fine with
What's
it,
wrong
John.
With it? It's not. You're not forcing anybody to read it. You're not forcing anybody to follow a particular religion. They're just good rules to live by. And oh, by the way, they're moral rules, and in some cases, they're actually the law. Like, don't kill anybody, right? Murder is against the law.
Do not steal.
You should
Tell those shoplifters that have caused all of these businesses to close because they've stolen everything.
So you know, if you start from the point that we are a moral civil society, again, you have to have some point of reference for what is a moral civil society. Why is murder wrong? Well, whether you believe in God or not, I don't know. You know, that's irrelevant. But we have as a society have decided that taking somebody's life is something that we find reprehensible because you're depriving people of their liberty, you know, basically. And so, but how do you teach the next generation? How do you teach the kids?
Well, we're not teaching them in school.
Exactly. It's a school. It's to teach them this kind of stuff. And again, you're not imposing a religion on them.
Well, I call it getting back to basics because our country needs to get back to basics. I have to tell you, you know, I mean, last night I went out to dinner and the person had so much nose piercings and shaved hair and so it was funny because my husband, you know, I married Switzerland. He's always very calm and, you know, keeps it to himself, unlike his you know, flaming haired spouse. And he looks up at the person and it took his breath away because it was so shocking. And he, you know, looking at his menu, trying to figure out his dinner. And then you know, he had a Biden froze moment because he's like, what the hell? You know, so we need to get back to basics. And that's the 10 Commandments, you know, loving each other. We need a revival. And that was the funny thing. I'm going to try to get him back on is the managing editor of the Babylon Bee I follow, and I always comment on, like I just commented during the show because he posted a picture and I said, that person's wearing a wig, and he liked it. So he always likes my stuff. But he posted yesterday that our nation needs a God revival, and I think we do.
We do.
We do, because we can't live like this anymore.
Well, everybody says, oh, well, we can't force religion on people, but our country is founded, back to the moral basis, right? It's founded on the idea of God and the fact that God has given us, people, natural rights. It's right there. It's right there, certain unalienable rights. Okay, what's so hard to understand about that? Break the sentence down. Unalienable. Where did they come from? They came from God. They came from the Creator. So man can't take them away. It's like the abortion debate. They're talking about, the government granted the right, under Roe versus Wade, the right to an abortion. So the government took it away. Well, that's not a right. The government doesn't grant you rights. God grants you rights.
Yeah. It's just so this was the tweet. It's Melinda French Gates, okay, whose husband Bill Gates is, the computer god, and cheated on her, and so she finally ding dong ditched him.
Jeffrey Epstein passenger.
and he's gross. So anyway, she posted this. This was last night. 2 years ago today, Roe versus Wade was overturned, and my daughter's generation lost a fundamental right that I grew up with. I recently talked with my daughter, Phoebe, about the importance of reproductive freedom and why this year's election is so critical. Like, I want to throw up. This woman is worth billions. So I wrote, you can have your birth control. Killing babies is just that, killing. Praying for you to have clarity. And then a bunch of other Republicans I follow jumped in. What is wrong with these people? Someone wrote, your daughter's abortion is more important than ending Biden's policies than getting young women murdered by illegals. That one's pretty good.
That puts it in perspective. I mean, the fact, back to my thing about choice, and I always say this to the high school kids that, when they talk about, they're pro-choice and all this, and I was like, your choice is to have sex without protection, without birth control. That's your choice. The fact that you got pregnant is a consequence of your choice.
This one's
and you don't want to be responsible.
This person wrote, I'm not going to lie. Melinda Gates bonding with your daughter about your advocacy, your shared advocacy of having the right to kill your baby is super creepy. What if she had been inconvenient or unplanned? Does Phoebe ever think about that? I mean, these people are sick. Exactly. They are sick. Sick. This woman is worth billions. She's having a conversation with her dumb daughter about how it's so sad you can't kill your babies. What is wrong with these people, John? I mean, I tell you this every week, every time we have a show.
It's funny, Veronica.
I can't take it anymore.
It reminds me of Jimmy Carter talking to his daughter Amy about nuclear war.
I remember that. Oh my gosh, and that child was not attractive. I don't normally go down that route because, as much as I get slandered on X and stuff. Oh my God. Well, it's pretty funny. People are calling her out as she's disgusting. I mean, these people are sick. Sick.
It's because she has no moral basis. She doesn't believe in God. It's apparent, it's like we were just talking about. We are having a war in this country. We have a civil war, not with guns, but with ideas and votes right now with these people. They don't believe in God. If you don't believe in God, then the entire, back to Obama, okay, the entire basis of our country, he said our founding fathers got it wrong. Instead of saying what government can't do, they should have said what government should do. It's a fundamental
like somebody
mindset
wrote here, liberalism is a mental disorder. I've heard that for the last 20 years.
Yes, it is.
It really
Absolutely.
is. What is wrong with you people that think this is okay? And this is like Kamala's always pushing this crap, and then you have this woman that is worth billions, and this is what you choose. And the other person that's like that is the Amazon guy's ex-wife, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Oh, yeah, Bezos.
She's pushing all this crap, too.
Yeah, she spends billions on her stuff.
I don't know. Maybe Jesus is coming. And John, make sure I'm on the boat. I tell you this every week because can it get any worse? Can we get in the,
Oh, yes, it can get a lot worse. It will get a lot worse,
pagans. Well, you were saying that with our earlier guest, and that scares me that it's going to get worse. I mean, what if Trump doesn't win, Because I'm seeing things on X, we got to take up arms and protect ourselves. And I don't, what country can I move to? I don't even know where to go.
You can't, and as you said, until things get bad enough, they just have to hit the tipping point or the point of inflection to get the big change. And the question always is, are we there yet? We've had, as I said, we had 100 years of incremental change by the Democrats, right? The progressives, 100 years of nibbling away at our liberty, nibbling away at our freedom. And now in the last 10 or 20 years that they've been accelerating. It's no longer little bites. Now it's big bites. This stuff where the Green New Deal. I laughed my ass off when I first heard about the Green New Deal. And guess what? Biden signed the damn thing into law. We're spending trillions of dollars on the Green New Deal. As I was reading a piece here about there's a piece of legislation that's going through Congress by Republicans in the House, of course, and Matt Gaetz and Neil Dunn, believe it or not, is actually supporting it. But it's to try to haul back some of this Green New Deal money. They're only going to the haul back is $100 billion out of trillions, and it's like this is a Band-Aid. You're putting a Band-Aid on a guy that's got a gash, and it's not going to stop the bleeding.
Well, let's fast forward to Thursday night with the debate. I mean, what's going to happen? I just, oh gosh, I wish that he freezes it. I hope Biden has his frozen moment, but I think it's been moved up so early because they want to get rid of him potentially. Why is this happening? Yet, we've got Congressman Dunn here and congressional candidate Rhonda Woodward, and they set a debate for July 26th. I mean, this is the sickness of this is why I'm so angry about Congressman Dunn. So the debate's going to be the 26th of July for that debate, so that you don't have time, potentially absentee ballots already be back in the box, in the mailbox, and people don't get to see this man in action. I'm just disgusted by it all. We can't even get this man to debate. And then we've got, what's going to happen. Poor Trump now is going into the snake's pit with Tapper and Dana Bash and then, idiot Biden. Well, I mean, what's going to happen? And why does a world leader have to go to frickin' Camp David for a week and take no meetings? This is some political, and I put this on X. Oh, you're some political savvy, person, and he's got to be out of commission. And somebody wrote, and I think this is true, they're probably every day trying like some sort of concoction to see what keeps him awake. And what would be funny, Thursday he'll probably pass out because he's had like 7 concoctions leading up to it. And he'll bust, you know.
I think you're going to see the State of the Union Joe Biden. I think you're going to see the angry Joe Biden
screaming with the upper.
And right, because he's going to be so they have to juice him. They have to juice him really high to get him to last, number one. And so I think he's going to be juiced.
It was horrible last time, that State of the Union, I have to say. It was rough.
Did you know Dana Bash's husband was one of the signers of the 50 intelligence officers?
Yes.
That said that laptop was a lie?
One of the 51. And I put on X today,
I was like,
why aren't these people losing their frickin' clearances? They're all frickin' liars. There's been so many lies, John. And these people are pagans. I think that's, I like to say, I hate to say any word with devil, but now after having Ken Abramowitz on here, that's what it is. These people are devils. They're devils.
Right. They worship,
pagans.
They worship government. That's what they worship the state.
No, they worship their power. Their power. They can't give it up.
Their perceived power. Their perceived power. And until the people get angry enough, and when the people get angry, then their power disappears, because the people will ultimately go back through history, okay? The people always rise up at some point. The people always have enough. Name any government. Pick any government in history, and eventually it falls because the people have had enough and they'll revolt. You know, the French Revolution, Russian Revolution, pick them. I mean, there's hundreds of examples throughout history, and the question is, how long can we last before that happens? Before we end up with another civil war, basically, where there actually is shooting. You know, I hope it never comes to that, but I have a feeling you can't correct this. There's no self-correcting mechanism. That's the problem.
No, because these people are stupid, and then they defriend you,
Right.
and then they call you the C
stupid.
word that I'm always getting. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? I don't know how to get through to them that killing babies is not okay, having an open border is not okay. How do we get through to these people? How many more? You know, we had the 12-year-old that was killed this week, and it came out yesterday. She was raped for 2 hours before they strangled her. I mean, how many more Americans have to die and suffer because we have a freaking border that is open? How many more?
Well,
because it could be your child, your daughter, your mother, your wife. You know,
these people aren't stupid. Okay. They have a goal and they're working on accomplishing it, and they don't care what the cost is. They could care less about little girls getting raped and killed. They don't care. It's irrelevant to their goal. It's just it's collateral damage. So, you know, the problem is you and I approach this from a moral basis. They don't have any moral basis.
I don't know how they get up in the morning.
There's nothing wrong with it to these people, right? Well, that's what you get with these godless pagans, you know, because they worship something else, and that something else doesn't view people. You know, you and I view people as our brothers and sisters through Christ. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. I don't care what race you are, what color your skin is. We're all brothers and sisters through Christ, and that's what we're taught, and that's what I believe. So there's some common ground. You can always find some common ground through that lens. These people don't have that lens. You know, it's basically us or them. They think we're crazy. They think we're nuts. They think we're stupid. They think we're evil. We know they're evil. But because evil exists in the world, and I'm certain of that. And how does evil operate? You know, it doesn't believe in God.
There was a story yesterday that an MSNBC, I don't know if you saw this, MSNBC host was dismissive on this weekend after a conservative guest brought up the murder of a young girl by an illegal immigrant, appearing to suggest it was an isolated incident meant to smear immigrants more broadly. What? What is wrong with these people?
Well, so the thing they don't want to address, Veronica, is the fact that all these countries, you know, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Venezuela, they've opened all their prisons. They've gotten rid of all their prisoners. They've gotten rid of all of their mental cases. What did they do with them? They sent them to us. We have all these nut jobs, all these criminals, and it's not just from South America.
Well, now I'm scared because when you see
limiting
pictures of these illegals and they've got their neck tattooed, and I keep seeing all of them running around here where we live, and there's neck tattoos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. And I'm not one to be prejudiced because I am Hispanic. But now I'm petrified because I'm like, you know, what's going to happen? So it's just.
Well, you know, I went to Korea, South Korea, you know, for 10 days and came back, and I had to go through customs, and I had to show them my passport and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's like, you know, business or pleasure, you know, all this kind of crap. And it's like, I'm an American citizen. Why am I being interrogated when you're letting all these idiots who we have no clue who the hell they are through the country at the southern border? And then we give them all these benefits, you know, we give them cell phones, we give them food, we give them housing in 5-star hotels. And it's like, where's the accountability? Who are these people? It's a simple question. Who are these people? They want to know who I am, and I live here. I'm an American citizen, and the government wants to know who I am. But, you know,
it's out of control. The whole
thing.
It
is. It's out of control. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I just wonder what's going to happen with, you know, Thursday. I hope Biden falls on his face and Trump crushes it. and and we go from there. And then the next thing, right around the corner after 4th of July is his sentencing in New York City, and I think they're going to put him they're going to put Trump in jail or in his house.
Yeah,
hopefully
exactly.
it's Mar-a-Lago, so he can have Mai Tais there.
They have to do it, Veronica. They have.
I'm sick.
How else can you stop it?
Every day I wake up and there's even more craziness every single day. And it's like, you can't even make it up because it's all new. You're like, who came up with that idea? Which that's the other story I wanted to talk to you about was that Tyler Cherry, gross guy that he's a gay guy that was working in another part of DC and now has moved over to the communications office to work with Corinne Jean-Pierre. And oh, by the way, he wants to, his former tweets, but they don't mean anything now. He wants to defund police, and he was pro-Hamas, John. So, and he looks like a Fruit Loop. And you Google Tyler Cherry, and he's got a cherry on top in his dresses that are all over the internet. And this is who you hire? I mean, we are a freaking laughing stock in this country.
Back to the pagan comment, Veronica.
Oh my gosh!
Is that not exactly what the guy is? It's like
total pagan.
That other. Who was the idiot that was in charge of nuclear waste?
Oh yeah, well no, that was what I put on X. Is I was like, when's he gonna steal my suitcase? This one. I mean, that'll be the next thing. And then you look at him and these pictures that are online, and could you imagine if you and John? I'm sure you're wearing dresses when you're not doing a show with me. If a John picture my wingman in a dress went all over the internet, and you're trying to get a job in the White House. BS. This dude has a clearance. This is baloney. You keep your private matters private. And
he should never have a clearance, number one. Now,
I might have to borrow that dress, John, from you.
Okay, so there was a comment on X, and it says, although Tyler is physically incapable of defending himself, he advocates for defunding the police and abolishing ICE. And I'm like, what the hell does he mean he can't defend himself? Is he some kind of effeminate?
Yes. That's like 6'5" in a dress.
Like you slap him and he starts crying.
Well, he looks like Weird Al Yankovic, from back in the day.
That's being mean to Weird Al.
I know, poor Weird Al. He's like, please stop saying that, everyone. Oh my gosh.
He's definitely a caricature of some weirdo. But I mean, it's obviously perverted, and I would not want anything to do with him. But how this gets to be see, they're trying to normalize it.
Everything's trying to be normalized. And what was it? 2 weekends ago? Well, so this past weekend, I was in Mobile, Alabama, rocked the country. I'm a veteran, and I applied for. It's called VetTix. It's this amazing site that gives tickets to all kinds of things. My one friend, a retired colonel, told me about it, and so I got in the lotto to get Kid Rock tickets. It was a 2-day festival. There's plenty of famous other people, but it was Kid Rock and Jason Aldean were the big acts, and then Big and Rich. And it was insane because Friday when I was at this event, the patriotism, everybody had to wear American flags, just the beauty. And then of course, when Congressman Gates came out on stage and rallied and introduced Kid Rock, and this is Mobile, Alabama. It wasn't even Florida Gates country. The people went bananas for him. And thanks for Congressman Gates, because I put it on X and he shared it, and I was like, wow, my X is blowing up, and 85,000 views later, I was like, thanks, Congressman Gates. That's the second time he's done that for me, because I'm fighting for him, because I think he's a fighter, honestly, and that's why, I want to change out Congressman Dunn, because he has not been fighting for us, and now, like, his staff sends out the vitamin D doses, you probably get them. There's no substance there at all.
Veronica, you want to talk about a good contrast, I don't remember if it's X or Facebook, but Matt Gaetz has been putting up some ads, campaign ads, and it's just him in a convenience store, and somebody comes up to him, recognizes him, and starts talking to him and saying, "Thank you for standing up for me." Okay,
yeah, we want that.
Thank you for standing up for me, and it's like, wait a minute. It's not, I think you're doing a good job. It's thank you for standing up for me because you're representing me. Do you see anything like that for Dunn? Could you imagine
No.
Dunn walking in a convenience store?
Where is Dunn?
Anybody saying that to him?
No, because they wouldn't know who he was.
Right, right.
They wouldn't know
Exactly.
who he was, and then of course he's not even man enough to frickin' do a debate. So it's like I want to throw up with the whole thing. Which I'm a planner. The last debate he did, I did. Going to be 4 terms ago. This is his 5th term he's vying for. I ran, and he didn't want to do it then. And so I want a Trump and I want a Gates.
Well, he's never wanted to debate since the first one with Mary Thomas. So I mean, it's like
right. I planned that one and got beat up from it. So
right, and it's like, wait a minute, you're asking to represent the people of the second congressional district.
Granted, if he
you
wins,
you owe it to these people.
If he wins August 20th, I will vote for him because I'm not going to vote for any Dem. But this is not who I want, I can tell you. Well, I just wanted to touch base, and I went country this weekend, John, and I survived, and and it was awesome.
You two with the spear, huh?
Well, that was
Vegas.
one of my favorite, and I will say I'm never going to do a 2-day outside, no seat concert again. It was too hot for me. We went like 5 to 11 is what the I didn't even see all the acts, but Kid Rock, man, you've just felt. I mean, he was patriotic too. So it was just kick ass. I'm still rocking. My head's still moving. Can you see it? I'm still moving over here with the Kid Rock. And he was 53, played the drums, played the guitar, played the sax, played the piano, jumping all around the stage, and so Americana. So I don't know. It was fun being around. I left very patriotic because Saturday Friday, you had to wear all American flag stuff. Saturday, darling, you had to wear your hunting stuff. And so I wore this neon top and so my husband's like, why are you wearing that? Because I was like, if I was hunting, I'd be wearing this color. And so I blended pretty well, not. And then Friday I bought, and it's on my X page. If you go to Veronica Talk, it says Badass American, I think on the hat. I don't know. I bought a cowboy hat, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell did it say? I don't even know because I was so cute. And then everybody was walking around with cowboy hats.
You don't have cowboy hat and cowboy boots? Come on, I got those things.
Okay. It's women were wearing cowboy boots, and it was 102.
Yeah.
And they were all falling.
It's a fashion.
No.
It's a fashion statement.
No, damn it, it was too hot. So no, but there was plenty of because what does my hat actually say? Hold on, I forgot here. Oh, American Badass, because it was a Kid Rock. That's I guess one of his albums. But it was patriotic, and then people were wearing FJB hats that were cowboy hats. It was freaking awesome. I can't believe. Can you believe I bought a cowboy hat? Yeah. I need to move out of here quick. I keep wanting to move to Scottsdale.
You're gonna be riding horses before you know it.
No, because like Princess Anne just fell off the horse and she's in the hospital with a concussion and lost memory. These are things that would happen to me.
Okay, so one thing when you mentioned Americana, that was Mo Pitney there to sing Americana.
Well, I will say they had a DJ there, and that Lee Greenwood, they played both nights. And then the other thing, too, was somebody that was putting on the event came out both nights and prayed. And I have to say that was so amazing. And then, oh, my gosh, who's this rocker? He was a country guy that was a rocker, and it was kind of – I only like hard rock, like in a live hard rock setting, and it was almost hard rocky. I was like, Brantley Gilbert. Oh my gosh, Off the Nails tour. He was off the nails. The only thing I didn't like was he was like, well, sometimes I smoke pot. So that was my only
But he's a musician. You got to give him a pass on that one.
I know. I didn't like that. And then there was, I should have bought this. I should have bought this. It was a hat, because I bought the cowboy hat, and it said Buck Fiden on it, and it has B, and then the U has like deer antler, so Buck Fiden. Yep. And I should have bought that hat. So, anyways, I survived the heat. There was people dropping like like flies out there because the medics kept running. And then I tried when Kid Rock was jamming, the pit was open to everybody, so I tried to go, but I'm only 5'2", so it was not made for short people. But freaking awesome, John! I cannot wait to see that man again.
To pick you up.
But everybody was so nice and friendly, and John Rich, and we're fighting for America and our country and pro-Trump, and I don't know. Even like when I've gone to see Pitbull, he talks about why he loves America and how it's, given so much to him. And we forget that with these woke people and Tyler Cherry and his dress. Yep. I'm over that shiza. I only want to see American flags, and I don't need to see your pride agenda anymore. You can do whatever. You can be gay. I say that all the time. But let's be American first. We got to be Americans first.
Quit slamming it in our face. I don't need to see it. Whatever you do on your private time, fine, go do it. But I don't need to see it, and I'm certainly never going to approve it.
No, I'm just over it. So, no, it was so much fun, and I had to recover yesterday because 2 days in 102 heat, John. I'm out of practice. Like back in the day, I'd be in Saudi Arabia in my BDUs,
I just been out there mowing the fields, for the last 3 days on the tractor, in 100-degree heat. So
okay, great. We're gonna find you slumped over, but you'll have your seatbelt on. So, but our next adventure, we're gonna come together Friday after the debate. We'll do a show, and I want to talk debate with you. But we also have her name is Sarah Maccabee, and she started a nonprofit called Stand in the Gap, a January 6th foundation, and her husband is one of the J6ers. So I can't wait to talk to her because, we've had the author of the Gulag Chronicles on, but this is an actual somebody
that was
totally impacted. Yep, so we'll be ready. And yep. This is the power of the show is somebody that knows my show was like, hey, they shared my card with her staff. They contacted me. She lives in Nashville. And this is the power of the show. This guest, somebody that knows me, sent me this guest. And how many times does that happen, John, that we get these cool people because somebody likes our show and they want us to talk to them. So I'm very honored to have her on.
We have such fascinating guests that look at the world and bring us a story, and we can talk to them. And have a great discussion.
And I met a lady too. We'll see if this comes to fruition. But I met her the second day out in the heat at the Jason Aldean concert, and she had given birth to a baby a month earlier as a surrogate. And I was like, oh, tell me about surrogacy. And I was like, did you get paid? Because the stipulation is you don't get paid. They get paid. And so she wanted to talk about it because she was blessed with 3 children, and she wanted to give somebody in this world a child that couldn't have one. And so I'm going to follow up with her. So, you and I, we meet all kinds of interesting people out there, but if you love the show, follow me on Veronica Live on X. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube. I post stuff on LinkedIn all the time. And, we want to take this national. And I'll talk about it next show, too, because the article, I was interviewed by a Christian magazine, and so they just sent me the digital copy of the article, and it's really nice. It's so nice. And the editor that laid it in actually contacted me. She was so moved by my little story. So I just, we're doing God's work. It's political, trying to make every seat red to save babies in our country, John. So we're truly doing God's work on Veronica Live.
Well, we're definitely fighting those pagans, That's a never-ending battle. Evil is out there, and the battle never ends.
Yeah. Well, great show. And we'll share all of our interviews today, and this is our Afterburner political fire round. So I'll see you Friday, and God bless everybody, and thanks for listening to Veronica Live.